Hello everyone, welcome you all for the Begin Danny YouTube channel. Subscribe the channel so that you will get the notification immediately after the new video is released, and share with your friends so that they can also learn this lesson. A hearty welcome to all the viewers, well-wishers of this Begin Danny channel for social science lesson. This lesson is prepared based on Maharashtra State Board. This lesson can be used for effective teaching, for revision, for testing, and for self-learning. Today we are going to discuss the 10th standard geography lesson topic, population, lesson number 6 in the textbook. Population is the study about human being. It is described as the resource. Why population is described as a resource? Because without the interference of population, no materials will attain the status of mineral. So population is considered to be the main resource. If you take the population, we can categorize the population under two categories. One, quality based, another one quantity based. Quality is very important than quantity. So if a country has a qualitative population, definitely the country will be a developed country. Suppose, or if a country's population is high on quantity basis, definitely it is a developing country or a underdeveloped country. Why population is considered as important resources? There are various reasons for treating the population as resources. Let us study some of the resources or some of the reasons. One, intelligent, imagination, innovation, creativity, skills, idea, like that. Many features are there, characteristics are there. All these characteristics make the population as an important resource. When we are talking about the population, qualitative aspect is very important for nations' economic and social progress. So if the country wants to develop, there must be a qualitative population. We can see the map of India. India and Brazil we are going to study in this lesson. Comparative study between India and Brazil. First, if you take the Indian population, according to 2011 census, 121 crore population in India, and at that time India was the second most populous country in the world. But now India has crossed China from February 2023. So India is the most populous country in the world nowadays. If you take India, observe the world map. In this world map, India occupies just 2.41 percentage of the land area of world. But you observe the world population, India is having 17.5 percentage of total world population. The pie chart that is given shows the contribution of India's population to the world population. According to 2011 census, the average density of India is 382 persons per square kilometer. That means India has the high density of population. But the population of India is very unevenly distributed. The adjacent map shows the distribution of population in India, how the density is very high in some parts, it is low in some parts, average medium in some part, and in some other part it is very low. Why is unevenness in distribution of population? There are two major reasons. One, the physiography of the land, and the second one, the climatic condition prevails in that land. So two reasons, one physiography and the next one climate. These two play important role in distribution of population. Where do you see the high density of population? We can see the high density of population in the fertile land region, and the physiography is plain or low-lying plain topography, and the place where water is available in plenty. All these factors lead to human settlement for many centuries. So some of the areas of our country is highly concentrated with population from ancient time. The reason that land areas are fertile, plain land area, and fresh water supply is there in abundance. The areas where the agricultural activity is carried out, usually the fertile and plain region, the agricultural activity will be carried out, and industries are set up in the flat region or plain low-lying region, and the trade also well developed in these regions. So this leads to the proportion of population concentration in few places. So three factors, they are determining the concentration of population in some places. What are the three factors? One, farming. Second one, industries. And the third one, trade. Example, the North Indian plain, already you have studied about the North Indian plain in the third lesson, physiography and drainage. In that we have studied about the 5 physical divisions of India. The northern plain or North Indian plain, located between Himalayan mountain in the north and the peninsular region in the south. So in between that area is North Indian plain. There the concentration population is more. Some of the important cities having the high population like that of North Indian plain are Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Pune, Bengaluru. Industrial developments or trade activities are developed in these cities. So these cities and the North Indian plain region has have the high density of population. The areas like mountains, hilly regions, dry desert area, dense forest areas, all these regions, the population is sparse. The situation to live is not conducive for survival, or they may face a tough situation. That is why in these regions, mountainous, hilly regions, dry desert areas, dense forests, the density of population is sparse. Inaccessibility, tough life, absence of facilities, all these lead to the sparse population or less density of population in that areas or in those areas. That means the forest region, desert region, mountainous region, hilly regions. Let's learn about the population in Brazil. If you take Brazil, the most populous country in South American continent, the total population was 19 crore in 2010 census. According to 2010 census, it ranks 5th in population and area. So in the number of population, it ranks 5th position. The land area extended in or occupied in the world map, also this country stands in the 5th position. 5.6% total area of the world is occupied by Brazil. The pie diagram shows the Brazil's contribution. Just 2.78% total population of the world is residing or settled in Brazil, or Brazil has only 2.78% of world population. According to 2010 census, Brazil has the average density of 23% per square kilometer. So average density in Brazil is 23% per square kilometer. Like that of India, in Brazil also the population is distributed very unevenly. Very unevenly distributed population is there in Brazil. Majority of Brazilian population concentrated within 300 km of eastern coastal area or coastal lowlands. So this map shows very clearly that most of the population of Brazil is concentrated on the east coastal region. Why the highest density is found in the eastern coastal region? Because agriculture and industries flourished well in this area. That is why the highest density of population found in the eastern coastal region of Brazil. If we go to the interior of Amazon basin in the north, the population is very sparsely populated because unfavorable climate and heavy rainfall, and one more, inaccessibility. Accessibility is very difficult. So because of these three reasons, the interior part of Amazon basin is very sparsely populated. Unfavorable climate, heavy rainfall, accessibility is very tough. Dense forest barrier to development of human settlements in Brazilian region, especially the Amazon basin. Coastal and western part less populated. The density of population is moderate in highland. So if you take the northern coastal part and the western part of Brazil, the population is very less and it is moderately populated in the highland regions of Brazil. Population composition, sex ratio or gender ratio. What do you mean sex ratio, or what does sex ratio mean? Sex ratio means number of females per thousand males. So while calculating the population based on 1000 males, the female population is calculated. In Brazil, more than 1000 female population is there since decades. Women increased than men since 2008. That means in Brazil, the women population is outnumbered, whereas in India, men population is outnumbered. What was the sex ratio in Brazil in 2010? According to 2010 census, the sex ratio in Brazil was 1090. That means for 1000 males, there was 1090 females. India, men outnumbered women. Fluctuations in sex ratio since few decades. That means in a few decades, the number of female population started increasing more in India, but men at the highest rate. You can observe the map, slight increase after 1991 census. 2011 census, there were 947 women out of 1000 men. The next composition is age and sex pyramid. That forms the next composition. In Brazil, the proportion of aged people is more. That means unproductive. The retired people or the people above 60 and 60 years of age, not working, inactive population is more in Brazil. You can see this graph, observe the graph, how the population contribution of Brazil in the year 2016, the composition, how much percentage is there in the population of Brazil. Here very clearly shows the male and female population. The green color is the female population and the blue color is the male population. Next, India. The proportion of youth is more. The higher percentage of people in India is under the working population. That means between 15 and 59 age group. That age group is called as working population. That is why our country is described as the young country. Already you have studied about this in detail in second lesson, while we are studying about India and population introduction. Look at the graph, male and female proportion in India, age group wise it is given. How many millions of people are there in different age groups. In the same way, in this graph, you can see the line graph, the population explosion, very rapid growth of population or explosion of population from 1971 census. What about the growth? If you take Brazil, population growth decreased very considerably. You can observe it in the line graph and also in the bar graph. Growth rate is decreasing very rapidly. Even if the government is taking steps, even the government takes steps to increase the population, it will take minimum 2 decades. So may not. So in 2 decades may not increase. Population may not increase in next 2 decades. You can see this pie graph, that contribution of population compared to other countries. India's population you can see 17.5%. 2001 to 2011, in that decade, the population has increased by 18.2 crore. 18.2 crore people increased in one decade. The growth rate was higher till 1971. It was stabilized for some period. Now it started declining but still growing. That means in the previous 2 slides before we have studied, after 1971 there was population explosion, rapid growth of population. but now it is controlled. It declined, but still growing. Still, the population is growing in India. Life expectancy. How long the people are living. Increase in life expectancy is the indicator of development of society. If the life expectancy is increasing, is more, then it means development of society. That means the country is developing. How the life expectancy will increase? What are the reasons for that? Or what are the background for the improvement in life expectancy? There are various reasons. One, medical facilities. If a country has a good medical facility, definitely the life expectancy will be more. And the second one, if the country is progressing in the medical field, or if there is a progress in the medical field, then you can say the life expectancy will be more or increasing. The next one, access to nutritious food. Not only the medical facilities, even the good healthy food, nutritious food, that will also improve the life expectancy. But if you take the developed country, most of the developing countries, life expectancy is still less. That means in the underdeveloped countries and the developing countries, the life expectancy is less or low compared to the developed nations. But in that developing countries, socio-economic development is increasing. Okay, life expectancy may be less, but socio-economic development is increasing in that countries. What about the life expectancy in Brazil? Life expectancy is 75 years in 2016 census in Brazil. What about India? Life expectancy is 68 years in 2016 in India. Literacy rate, the study rate, or how many percentage of the people educated in a country, that is called literacy rate, educational percentage. You can see some of the major cities, they have the population. Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, these are the important cities, metropolitan cities of India, and the population there in those cities. What about the literacy rate? Brazil has higher literacy rate. The literacy rate in Brazil is 92.6% in 2016. That means 0.49% increased compared to the previous census. See the multiple line graph. The literacy rate of Brazil is shown. Literacy rate in India 74.04% literacy rate in India in 2011 census. But now the literacy rate in India grows at a faster rate. That means 9.21% per annum. The percentage of literacy rate is increasing rapidly. So if you take the percentage in a decade, it has increased 9.21% compared to the previous census took in the year 2001. Look at the map that shows the literacy rate in India. Thank you very much for patient hearing and watching this video. I hope this lesson will be very useful and you may have understood, and it will be very helpful for your studies.